It happens to everyone, sometimes. I was just hoping it wouldn't happen to me. Hey there, I'm John. This is Two Brothers RC, and this is the Precision Aerobatics Ultimate AMR 60, or what's left of it. Often called junk 3D airplanes by people who fly nothing but competitor airframes and are sponsored by the companies whose planes that they're flying, PA airframes actually fly way better than you've been told or led to believe. Not that my crappy 3D skills really showcase their full potential, but hey, you chose to watch me, I didn't force you. So let's dive into it and see how it stacks up to the no patent pending, new and improved Two Brothers review system. In early 2024, we reviewed the Ultimate under the older 20-point system. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at it using the new 25-point system that we've refined since this bird was posted originally. Before we get into the agility section, let's start off with a new section, which is giving you my actual opinion of the PA Ultimate AMR. I feel that it's a great option for people who don't mind an older style build with a lot of work involved to get it flying. It's really lightweight, and it can be thrown around without a care, though you do really need to pay attention while building it, because the plane can have issues if you don't epoxy everything together really well. I know this for a fact because my motor mount was coming loose because I didn't put enough epoxy on the top end of it. So I had to reinforce the motor mount using a pair of carbon spars and some clever cutting to make it work, along with enough glue slopped all over it to keep it snug and tight. This is a bird that's worth the effort, even if it does take a lot of effort, because it's a truly unique looking and flying aircraft in a sea of everything looking identical in the 3D airplane niche. I'm happy extreme flight is a thing, but I'm also happy that PA exists, because I'm honestly kinda tired of looking at the exact same designs every time I see 3D flying, and because it's nice to actually be able to support a local business like Precision Aerobatics, located in the Raleigh region of North Carolina, where I live. So let's hop into the unbiased section of this review now. Starting off, we check for whether the airframe is prone to accelerated stalls, also known as maneuvering stalls. We check for this because 3D planes are meant to be thrown around, and if it just stalls while you're trying to maneuver, you're either suffering from a skill issue or the airframe is bad. I'm nowhere even remotely close to perfect, but I can throw this thing around without dropping a wing in a variety of maneuvers, passing this checkpoint. It doesn't fight 3D inputs, though it does have a tendency to pitch down as I throw it around in a tumble because I'm intentionally flying it tail heavier to get it to tumble as hardcore as I want it to. This includes inverted snap rolls, knife edge spins, and regular snap rolls too. If you make it more neutrally balanced, you'll still tumble with no problems. Rolling Harriers are easy with very little control input necessary, though maneuvers like knife edge spins require both sticks to be inward instead of to the top left like I'm used to. Some planes are like that. It's not really a ding, just how it is, passing this next checkpoint. The PA Thrust 60 motor provides tons of thrust on the 80 amp Quantum ESC that mine came with, though I would have liked to have seen a little more granularity on the throttle response. The Quantum ESC does feel like it's not as smooth as the Avian ESCs that I'm more fond of from Horizon Hobby, but it did what I needed it to do, and the motor certainly had zero issues with thrust either, passing this checkpoint too. Harriers are free of wing rock, especially with the custom programmed AS3X Plus system tied to my throttle, so that gains decrease as I increase the throttle stick. The Ultimate definitely does this easily inverted and upright, even in wind. I've been using these throttle-based gains on basically everything lately, not just jets, and it's working out really well so far, with plenty of gyro gain for the low end of the stick, but reducing or outright eliminating bounce back and oscillation at higher thrust levels, and the Ultimate passes this checkpoint as well. Our final check looks for whether the Ultimate is XA capable. If you push the battery all the way back and try an inverted snap roll, tell me that this isn't extreme aerobatics, because I think it is. and the Ultimate definitely passes this checkpoint for a total score of 5 out of 5. Moving into flight time, we find that the Ultimate AMR with a 2900 SMC HV2 pack can fly aggressive 3D for about 7 minutes on average, but it'll infrequently run 6 minutes of flight time if you're flying in higher winds. The plane averages 7 minutes easily on calmer days, which are way more fun to fly in anyhow, so it earns a 5 out of 5 here. That's awesome, though I do wish it flew for an average of 9 minutes. I feel like there's still room for improvement here, but I can't complain about 7-minute averages with a big 3D plane. On to the landing gear section, we find, as usual, that the wheels do work, which does pass our first checkpoint. However, they're a bit too stiff to really offer any kind of suspension to the airframe, so hard landings are going to translate into possible airframe damage. Try to avoid doing that. Hard wheels mean a fail on this checkpoint. The suspension is stiff, which is great, because hard landings will avoid prop strikes, but it would have been nice to have the wheels dissipate some of that energy on rougher landings. Either way, it passes here as well. The gear are carbon fiber with fiberglass wheel pants that are both strong and lightweight, passing this next checkpoint. And the gear really does require low maintenance. Whether you're flying it from grass or from pavement, it shouldn't matter because it's super simple, passing our final checkpoint in this section. The Ultimate earns a 4 out of 5 here. Before we move on to the fit and finish and avionics sections, consider scrolling down a little and hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, definitely consider it. And if you're not part of our Discord chat server community, hop down to the description below, join up, and chat airplanes with us. Moving on to fit and finish, the covering of the Ultimate wasn't warped out of the box, nor did it warp or deform over the year and a half that I owned it, so it passes here. The linkages are high quality carbon fiber that you've gotta epoxy in place, but I really don't like that at all, and I really hope that PA modernizes their linkage system so that it's adjustable in the future. It's kinda silly that you need to epoxy it in place in 2025. But hey, it is strong, I'll give it that. The aileron hinges and elevator and rudder hinges are CA hinged, which is great, and they will hold up to whatever you force this plane to do. It literally does not care, and passes this checkpoint with ease. Quality surface detailing is our next checkpoint, and by that I mean, does it have nice looking layered covering and decals? It certainly does, passing here as well. However, it is not easy to assemble at the field. The wings continue to be annoying to set up, and installing a battery is the least fun part of this plane, failing this last checkpoint. The Ultimate AMR earns a 4 out of 5 in this category. Our final section is avionics and lighting, and we check for the servo quality first by looking at whether they're fast and precise, which they are. The Ultimate's recommended servos, which I'm using, are the Nexatec 200 HV units at $60 each currently, and they're metal geared as well. If you're using the recommended Quantum ESC, you'll operate them at high voltage too, making them very fast and precise for 3D flying, passing both of our checkpoints here. The ESC does not overheat no matter what I did with the plane or what time of year it was flown in, passing yet again. The motor mount is solid wood that you've got to epoxy to reinforce. It's definitely not well designed by 2025 standards, failing this checkpoint. Though it is functional, just annoying to set up as you're building the plane. Epoxy is strong, but this is the sort of thing that the factory should be doing for you. And here's hoping that PA will improve future releases so that epoxying the motor mount yourself is no longer necessary. The battery positioning is highly adjustable, allowing you to make this plane balanced exactly where you want it to be, with no weights or cutting required to fit the pack into the plane. It's just annoying to get your hands in there and crank the pack down so that it doesn't go flying out of the plane with the kind of tumbling you can perform with it, passing our final checkpoint for a grand total of 4 out of 5. The Ultimate AMR lives up to its name, and I firmly believe this. It does have some issues here and there, mostly minor ones, but it is a fantastic flying airplane, regardless of whether team pilots think that their team pilot planes fly better. It's up to you to decide whether someone with an innate conflict of interest can be trusted to objectively tell you that a plane sucks because the company that they represent happens to sell a competing airplane. I don't know about you, but I'd call that questionable at best. But only you can decide for yourself. Overall, the Ultimate AMR earns a 22 out of 25. A few dings here and there, but not bad. In my view, this is the best flying plane that Precision Aerobatics sells currently. If we can get a version 3 with a pre-installed motor box, softer wheels, and assembly that's a little easier, I'd imagine they'd sell out instantly. Huge thanks goes out to our channel members on twobrosrc.com/supporters for making videos like this possible with your support. And a very special thanks goes out to our mega fans, Sarasota RC Squadron, Michael Smith, JR Man, and Todd, along with our Ultra fans, Seahawk92 and TBRC Fan. You guys kick so much ass. Coming up soon will be the 1-year review of the Freewing J10 90mm, easily the best flying jet that Freewing has ever made without thrust vectoring. See you guys next week.